Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. We are very sorry for the late start of the program. Cameroonians are bracing up for the celebration of the 52nd edition of the National Day, a day we remind ourselves of our unity in diversity. Both the military and the civilians are currently preparing to be at the different ceremonial grounds on Monday to partake in the traditional march past with patriotic songs. And the question we are asking today, 52 years after, what are the stumbling blocks of our national unity and how can we consolidate the concept in Cameroon? You are watching 360 Degrees on Canal International. Do not move a muscle. We shall be right back. You're welcome back, and if you are just joining us, we are watching 360 Degrees and we are beaming live from the economic capital, Douala. I have some gentlemen and a lady in the house, but before you get to discover them, let's revisit some of the events of this week.
Analyst, a proud Cameroonian, finds herself immersed in the experience of donning ammunition, offering her a glimpse into the world of military operations. Her encounter at the Unity Village reshapes her perception of the Cameroonian Defense Forces as she embraces the intricacies of military equipment with enthusiasm. I'm really overjoyed. It's like I'm living with what they go through when they put their ammunitions on. Usually, we civilians are always scared to approach military men. But after exchanging with them today, I have a different perspective. Joining Analyst are numerous other visitors eager to explore the diverse facets of the Cameroonian Army, including the National Gendarmerie and the National Navy. There are many things I have been clarified on which I had no idea. For example, a gun proof, which weighs 5 kilograms, and the helmet, which weighs 1.5 kilograms. Compiled with ammunition, one will be putting on close to 15 kilograms. Since its opening, the Unity Village has served as a platform to foster understanding and familiarity between civilians and military.
This sector that we have is for the improvised engine explosives. That is, they can put it somewhere and then the materials are there. They have the detectors and all what you can see them. This is the material they use to detect anything that is put on the road.
The initiative underscores the theme of the 52nd National Unity Day, Army and Nation, together for a united, peaceful and prosperous Cameroon.
On the streets, be it the official language like mother tongue, many understand or express themselves in some few words, such as greetings like good morning, easy to pronounce. This aspect is further strengthened with intertribal marriages. In-laws, brothers and sisters, traveling here and there for celebrations of all, make it possible for Cameroonians to discover the beauty and culture of their nation. Most of the couples, after some time, speak the language of the spouse. Living together has taken a different dimension in the meals we eat. Today, it is difficult to identify someone from the meal they eat. Most of our dishes now national.
Every Cameroonian feels free and there is no meal which is allocated to a region. And you see the scramble for either watafufu and ero, atru, jamanjama, konfufu, kati kati.
Dressing has taken the baton. The Northwest royalty and dignitary outfit has taken national and international pattern. Then job, as it is popularly known today, has gone viral. So too, Kaba, Ngandura, the list is long. Ecumenism, also the other nowadays. Muslims and Christians praying together for peace, unity and togetherness in this country, Cameroon.
The parade rehearsals was led by Colonel Nsomom Martin. All the different units of the military were present. The BIR,
Air Forces, the Navy, the National Gendarmerie, the Police, Customs Administration, War Veterans, and Eco Guards. The 52nd edition of the 20th May celebrations will be commemorated under around the theme Army and Nation together for a united, peaceful, and a prosperous Cameroon.
Congratulations once more for the job well done, and especially for the people who are conducting the exercise. We want to congratulate you too. Okay? I think there is a lot of improvement.
This parade rehearsals continues throughout this week till the grand event coming up on Monday the 20th.
This is the capital city of the Southwest region, few hours to go for celebration marking the 52nd edition of the National Day. Buea is flagged with the national colors. From mile 17 to the governor's office runabout, the green, red, yellow flag is found everywhere. Preparations enter high gear.
Preparation is gathering some momentum because if you go to the Buea, you see the mile 17, you see the flags everywhere. It means the preparations are ongoing. A lot of businesses, a lot of people are coming in. There are so much activities going on. So I think the preparation is going on very, very well for 20th May.
At the Bongo Square ceremonial ground, final touches are being made. The two grandstands are taking shape with a befitting look. Final rehearsals are being made by forces of law and others, population, students, political party, to give 20th May the grandeur it deserves.
I think it's going to be a nice one. No serious noise as compared to other years. Preparations have been going very smoothly. I think so far nothing has been declared when it comes to ghost town and the other things. I feel like this year it's going to be better than last year.
It's conducive for us, for people to match, but the security. To give us more security.
On the security aspect, calm and serenity are top on the agenda as major announcement has not been made by separatist fighters. It is worth noting that 20th May falls on a Monday ghost town.
You're welcome back. Those were some of the news stories of the week, focused basically on the preparation of the May 20th celebration. Well, we come back to the studio to welcome our guests for today. I'll begin from my left, where I have BLASIUS LONGLA, who is of the civil society. You've been on this set once, and you are here today again. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Hyncenth. It's my pleasure to be here again once more, and special thanks to the administrators of Canal International for giving us this platform, this great opportunity for us to share with fellow Cameroonians for the development and the growth of our country.
Thank you so much. And by my right, I equally have AKWEN NADIEH. We are so used to with Nadia. I almost called her Nadia. So she is a political analyst, and it is your very first time on this set. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chia. It's a pleasure having me on your platform. Greetings to my co-panelists. Special greetings to all the millions of televiewers of this prestigious TV station, Canal International. It's a pleasure being on your platform. But permit me to steal some of the time because, you know, Cameroon is at the verge of transition, and we are preparing for the presidential elections that will be due in some 18 months to come. But, you know, women are absent in the scene. So I want to call out women because when we do statistically, Cameroon runs like 30 million inhabitants, and women are the potential electorates because women are the majority. So Cameroon counts like 20 million women, and women are absent in politics. So they say when they want to kill a dog, you give it a bad name. They said politics is a dirty game. They discourage a lot of people, and some men will even tell you the woman's place is in the kitchen. Meanwhile, we are in the 21st century and women have capacities that can help the society. So I am calling more women to be more involved into active politics and not passive politics. Because if we must demand for a change, a lot of women will just be there in their rooms and complaining. You cannot complain in your room. You must be on that table of decision. So I call them to be more active in politics so that we can change this nation, this beautiful nation. And why not a woman becoming the president, the next president of Cameroon?
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Chair.
Yeah, that was just a clarion call for the women to wake up. Let's stay on our topic of today. You just watched those reports there on the National Day. What caught your attention?
Well, watching the program you guys presented, the first thing that caught my attention was the lady who was in the military force. Yes. They have said women have, there are some certain jobs that has been kept only for men. But I saw a woman who is a military, someone who is in the military. So I appreciate her. And secondly, the preparations are going, but it is a huge sabotage because a lot of things are happening. People are complaining that our national unity, because this preparation is to value our national unity. But today, this national unity has been sabotaged by so many people, by members of the government and all that. So the activities that we are seeing is quite discouraging because so many, stakeholders will be absent in the commemoration of this, 52nd edition of, our national unity. So it's a negative bilan for me. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be coming back to you. Let me come back to you, Mr. Longla. May 20th, 1972. May 20th, 2024. Would you say we've achieved the goal that we were aiming to achieve from 1972 till date, as far as national unity is concerned?
I would say it clear that we haven't achieved even 30% of it, because what is happening in Cameroon today is the result of, I can say, the wrong agreement and what has been happening since the May 20th, 1972. Like somebody who asked that what are the stumbling block of the national unity, because I believe that it was a day that Cameroonians came together to unite. They unite themselves together to see how they can live as one person and having equal rights. So today I will stand here to say that a lot of things has been happening. A lot of things has been destroyed because of the mismanagement of the constitutions, because of the mismanagement of the laws that was made special year 1972. So I am here to call on those who are responsible, because if I'm to call on some group of people who are responsible in destroying the image, in destroying the National Day, because National Day or national unity or National Day for our country, Cameroon, is a day that we need to celebrate our sovereignty. It's a day that we need to celebrate our independence.
You just talked of wrong decisions. Is it about wrong decisions or non-implementations of the decisions that were taken? The wrong decisions in one way, and the wrong implementations of the decisions, or some of the decisions that was taken that particular day, that particular year, 1972, and because of the wrong leaders also. Because I want to make it clear that wrong leaders, because if you are there, if you are in power, if you have been appointed or you have been voted to be in power in order to save a nation, and you try to change some of the decisions, some of the constitutions to favor your being in power, to favor just your private, your individual lives, then it becomes worrisome to so many Cameroonians, and it is that very decision, it is that very character that has destroyed this country. And we are here to call on Cameroonians as the civil society, calling on
on Cameroonians to make it clear, to make them understand that it is time for us to rise. It is time for us to take our destiny into our hands, because a lot of things has been happening, and we cannot keep on sitting. We cannot keep on watching to see our country deranged, because this country belongs not to an individual, but to us Cameroonians.
Okay, thank you. Madam AKWEN, he makes mention of the fact that talking about the goal of national unity from 1972 to date, one cannot go above 30%. Is that the same picture you have in your head about this country when it comes to that aspect?
Mr. Chia, he spoke of 30%. For me, I won't even give them 10%. You understand? You know, before I answer your question, there is something he said that caught my attention, because when he said that the laws and the implementation, for me, I think it's just the implementation. Because when we look at Cameroon, Cameroon has a good penal code. Our laws, our institutions are okay. But the problem is they don't implement these things rightly, okay? Because you have power, you can violate our constitution, violate our laws, and do all those kind of things. So it is in the stage of implementation for me. Because most of the time, you know, Cameroon is a country that functions with slogans and written papers. They will sign some kind of things, arrêtés, but they don't implement on the field. So we have a problem of implementation. And this implementation is due to the fact that we have wrong leaders. Leaders who are egocentric. They are not patriotic. They are just there for their personal gain. Because once we talk of democracy, democracy is giving power to the people. You understand? So they are not trying to serve the people because they are our servants. But the opposite is what we see in Cameroon. So going back to your question, when you said that, what is the bilan? 1972, 2024. Yes. 52 years after, the bilan is negative. The bilan is less than 10, Mr. Chia, because, you know, when we talk of national unity, we talk of national bond, we talk of togetherness. But some people just think that they are just mere words you can just alter. No. We are having a problem in the Northwest and Southwest. And we have a lot of people who talk about separation. You understand? Yes. If Cameroon was a country that is, the national unity is at the peak, those guys in the Northwest and Southwest will not even think of national unity, will not even, separation. And it is not only the Northwest and the Southwest region that is complaining. All the 10 regions have problems. We talk of living together and not eating together. You understand? Because a lot of people will say united. When you're united, you need to eat together. And that is the problem. Okay? Yeah. If the national unity was at the peak, those in Bamenda will not complain. If wealth was evenly distributed, people in the Northwest, people in the Southwest will not complain. And people even in the other 8 regions will not complain. So we have a problem of living, we have a problem of eating together, which is an aspect of the failure of our national unity. Yes, so that's what I think. The bilan is so negative. Yes. And if we keep talking about these things, Mr. Chia, I think I will go as far as maybe before I'll be leaving here, we'll have the police to come and get me. So there are some things I just restrain myself from not saying.
We remain responsible.
We remain responsible.
In whatsoever, yes, in whatsoever we say, yes. She is very frank.
Actually.
That Cameroon does not have the problem of living together. Rather, eating or chopping together in quotes.
Yeah, actually, Anna understands her pains because it's the same pains that all of us are passing through. We are going through right now, and I believe that 99% of Cameroonians out there, they are feeling the same. The truth is, when we talk of living together, because that's what the government of Cameroon believe, that the talks about national unity is all about living together. And when they see that the Anglophones who get married to a Bamileke, the Bamileke may be getting married to a Northeast, and they say that everything is really moving on well as far as national unity is concerned. And that is not what is supposed to be there. Cameroonians are peaceful. Cameroonians are united. Cameroonians are, they are very much united, and they are one. Now, the main issue, as she rightly said, is the eating together. Because when we go back to what happens in 1972, that these 2 people came together, and to celebrate this day, that's the Anglophones and the Francophones, that to be on the same platform, to be on at the same level, and you will discover that one person wants to prove to the others that you are not only a second-class citizen, but you are instead the slave. Because when you look critically into the system, you look critically into the government of Cameroon, the Anglophones, the place of the Anglophones person is not even even there, not even to talk of the second class. And that is what made
No, you can't say that completely because things are changing. We've seen some few changes have been made.
There are few changes. If you tell me, Mr. Hyncenth, I will say there is no changes because there is nobody that can talk for the Anglophones, that can speak for the Anglophones. When somebody will say we have an Anglophone that is the Prime Minister, you are the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister who cannot even be a second citizen in the country, even a third citizen in the country, but you are right up to the fifth or the sixth position in the country. So you have nothing to say, and the Anglophone state, and that is why when we talk of bilingualism in this country, so many majority of the Francophone believe that bilingualism is for the Anglophones and not for the Francophones. They believe that it is only the Anglophones that can learn both English and French, and they as Francophones, they don't have anything to do with the English.
No, but we've seen that in recent times. A lot of that is changing. We've seen a lot of Francophones trying to learn the English language.
Yes,
Mr. Chia,
let me say something.
The issue is many people have understood that learning the English or the French is not for the good of
the country.
No, it's not for the good of maybe somebody else.
Yes.
It's for their own good.
It's for their personal interest.
That is why a lot of people are making a lot of efforts today to be able to speak or write
both languages.
Yes. You wanted to react to what
Yes, I wanted to react because when we look at, the Anglo-Saxon education, like most of our boarding schools we had in Bamenda were filled with the French people, okay? And most of them have believed that the Anglo-Saxon education is the best. So we don't have a problem of language for me.
Yes.
Because if we had a problem of language, the major national dialogue brought out some amendments stating that we should create the bilingual commission that is being headed by Peter Mafani Musonge. But till today, we are still having the Anglophone problem. So we don't have a problem of language.
Okay, let me stay with you. Ahijo, some of the reasons he advanced before moving from the federal state to a unity state was to accelerate the economic, social, and cultural development of the nation.
Wow.
Now, today, 52 years after, do we see that picture?
Mr. Chia, this is a very tactful question because when we look at it from the layman's side, I would tell you that.
Let's begin with culture. How has our culture evolved? We see many people now getting involved in the cultures of the different communities and all that.
Yes, talking on culture, I can say there is a plus.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of people, like you see the French people, they are trying to be, they are putting on our clothes, our clothing and all that. So I can say, looking at the aspect of culture, we have,
and vice versa,
and we have moved forward. But that's not so important. I want to tackle the question of our economy.
Yes.
Yes, because when we look at our country economically, we are doomed. Okay, Cameroon is a country that has everything. We have our soils are so rich. Okay, our lands are so much fertile. But the economy is so bankrupt that we don't understand. We had so many things that we have lost. If we look at some of our, most of our, in French they call it patrimoine, okay? They are not existing anymore. Most of these things are lost. Okay, we talk about the Sodecoton, we talk about most of these, these entities, these are companies, they are lost. Cameroon boasted in those days of having some planes, but today we are locataires, as we say in French. We don't have even one Boeing. Okay, we talk about the Régie Fekam, all of these things are lost. The Bata, they are not existing. The economy was supposed to be at the peak. Talking of cultural evaluation, it doesn't really help. Okay, Cameroon cannot live only on the culture. Okay, on tourism, coming to see how things have changed, our clothing. No, we want our economy to be boosted. We want our economy to be elevated so that our aspect of national unity will not be, biased or will not be insulted. Because today we cry of not, we are saying that the wealth has not been equitably, it has not been, divided.
Unevenly distributed.
That's it, that's the word, thank you. So it is because our leaders, those that are supposed to take us to that peak, those that are supposed to be like our parents. For example, Mr. Chia, the problem of Boko Haram in the northern regions of Cameroon, okay? Why do I say so? Because in the northern region of Cameroon, we had a lot of things that could boost our economy, okay? We had granite, we had, onions that left these places, we have garlic.
Yes.
But today, these things are so expensive in the market. Why? Because a president who considers, international clause with people rather than protecting his own children, okay? Because of the problem of Boko Haram. We have lost a lot of people, okay? Women have fled away from this region. They have become refugees. Some have become internally displaced. Why? Because President Buea announced war against something that didn't concern us, which is Boko Haram. He made those declarations without minding that his children are not in security, and this will cost a lot. Our economy is down. The same thing in the northwest and southwest region today. So economically, we are backward, okay, Mr. Chia?
Yes.
But talking of culture, it has evolved to some extent.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And if you are watching us, if you are watching us, you have the opportunity to contribute to the talking points through the number you have on your screen, SMS or WhatsApp only. Please do not call, and make your messages short and straight to the point. Yes, I wanted to come to you, BLASIUS. What are some of the aspects of this national unity that us Cameroonians this day can proudly celebrate?
If you ask me that question, I would say none.
You can't say that.
None, because I don't.
Remember, you talked of 30%.
I can. From example, let me say this.
Yes.
Let me say this. Why say when I talk of 30%? If you go into the various sectors,
yes,
the different sectors, you understand that, okay, if in the economic sectors you have just few percent, you go into the cultural sector, you have just few percent, then if you put everything together, you understand that they are nothing. But I want to say this, that the most important thing that I can say here is knowing my compatriots, the French people. The most important thing that we can celebrate is the French language, because I can proudly say that, okay, I enjoy knowing my brothers and sisters from the Francophone region. I enjoy speaking the French. I enjoy knowing French, because if Cameroon was not a bilingual country...
I'm not asking about you in particular, we Cameroonians.
Yes, I'm a Cameroonian. I take it from my...
Be it Francophones, be it Anglophones.
I'm a Cameroonian, and that's why I'm saying, me, if I'm enjoying such things that I'm trying to state, then it means that the Francophones or a Francophone citizens or the Francophone person in his own angle will say he also enjoys such things, because that's the only things that we can be proud of. And what happens that we cannot be proud of saying that, okay, Cameroonians, we enjoy these economic sectors very well, we enjoy the cultural sectors very well, it's all because of our leaders, because the leaders has been the storming block for the unity. Our leaders has been the people who have been fighting the unity of Cameroon. And in that domain, let me say this, in that domain, it is very clear to say that our leaders, it is time for them to start resigning one after another, so that Cameroon, the state of Cameroon, should move forward.
Who takes power?
Is resigning our solution? I don't really think so.
Well, there is one thing I want to say. They say power is not given, power is seized. Okay? And anybody who takes power cannot want to deprive himself from that same power. Jean de Dieu Momo is an example. He's a minister. He said there was a debate which I watched. He said, they asked him, can you really resign? He said, for nothing he can resign. So asking them to resign is like you're playing a child's play. You cannot test power. Even you that you're seated there, you cannot test power and try to release it just like that. There is supposed to be a battle. That is why they say power is not given, it is seized.
Yes, let me stay with you with that same question. Okay. We are celebrating May 20th on Monday.
Okay.
What really should we celebrate? Even if it is just a few percentage. But what do we celebrate as Cameroonians?
Mr. Chia?
Yes.
For me, I told you the bilan was negative.
Yes.
I told you I can't give them even 5%.
That doesn't mean everything is...
For me, because no sector in Cameroon functions normally. No sector in Cameroon functions normally. And when we talk of, our unity, what are we celebrating when we cannot eat together? Everything boils down to eating together, okay? If I'm celebrating something, it's because I find myself, okay, with that, okay? Ahmadu Ahidjo left a country to President Buea, and some things that, guided our national unity. But most of these aspects are not practiced. So how do we celebrate national unity? What do I say I have benefited for 52 years of our national unity as a person? Okay? For me, it is negative. So there is nothing I can see because no sector in Cameroon functions normally. There is nothing we can boast of. Okay? So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell Cameroonians at this juncture. All I can say is that we should go and fulfill all righteousness by participating, okay? Even though we have been given a taboo, okay, because there are some criteria they used. So they have, you know, it's an insult, Mr. Chia.
We'll get to that.
It's an insult. It's so painful.
If I may say something, Mr. Chia,
we'll get to
for
that.
the fact that we are celebrating, taking from example the theme of our National Day celebrations, which is Army and the Nations. That's for the unity and unity, peace, and the prosperous Cameroon. Now, the question is, if you take the unity, are we really united? Are we really united? And you go to peace, is the country really peaceful? Because when you go to the northwest and southwest, they are killing people every day. You go to the far north, they are killing, the people are dying every day. Is the country really peaceful? And not to talk, if we are talking about the prosperity, are we really, can a Cameroonian stand to boast that my country, we are prospering, we are really doing well in our own various sector, we are really progressing, we are prospering. So if you put everything together, like what she said, I'm not saying any positive or any good thing that we're supposed to really celebrate as far as the celebration of the 20th May is concerned.
Yes, he mentioned the wanted to come in. To what extent has the Anglophone crisis stifled the unity of Cameroon?
You know, this is a very pathetic situation for me because this problem which we have that came to existence in 2016 because of the arrogant, you know, government we are having, because of the bad leaders we are having. Okay, it has so much played a negative role to our national unity because when we look at some of the complaints given by the teachers and lawyers, Mr. Chia, you will accept with me that our national unity has never been existent.
How can you say that?
It has never been existent. When I talk, because President Buea preaches Emergence 2035, because he was like saying that, okay, we have nothing. Cameroon has nothing. Buea has told us that we are going to start seeing changes in 2035. Okay? Emergence 2035. Meaning that all what we are doing now, we have not yet reached that level of practicing national unity, practicing unity, practicing peace. Because the slogan of the 52nd, you know, edition of this is just a mere, you know, it's a mere preparation because we are not yet there. We still have a long road, okay? We still have so many things to do to reach that thing. And President Buea told us this will happen only after 2035. And talking on the Anglophone that has played a negative role, Mr. Chia, I will tell you that it is through this problem that the eyes of so many Cameroonians opened, okay? It is not only a problem of the Northwest. All the 10 regions are complaining. If you go to the South with President Buea's village, they complain. They don't want him, okay? It is not only in the Northwest and Southwest region. The 10 regions are in trouble. And who is the cause? President Buea and his government, who have refused, you know, to change, because most of the time we come here, we say they have called us les débatteurs, noisemakers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, lady and gentlemen. We have been joined by Mr. SIAKA SHUNEH. Yeah, we are sorry he's coming in late. You understand how high it is.
Traffic.
He is
I got caught up by
one
traffic.
of the communication elements of the ruling party, the CPDM. You're welcome.
Thank you so very much, and thank you to Mr. Longla. Good day to Mr. Longla, and good day to Madam AKWEN. It's a pleasure being here to deliberate pertinent issues about our nation, Cameroon, especially now that we are celebrating national unity and integration.
I'm sorry, I will not give you time to even catch your break. Let me come to you straight. These other people have been talking and they have been talking. I'm sure you listen to some of the things they say. We are celebrating national unity that started on paper, or that started officially, let me say it that way, in 1972. Today we are in 2024. What picture will you paint of our national unity in Cameroon?
Yes, before I dive into your question, I just want to express my disappointment to the intellectual dishonesty that's been exhibited here by Madam AKWEN as I just came in.
Wow.
To say that national unity is not a reality is a fallacy. We all enjoy national unity and integration in this country.
Wow.
That's why Madam AKWEN is not living in the northwest region of Cameroon where she hails from. That's why she's living in the Francophone zone, feeling free and fair.
That's not
and
unity,
being able,
Sorry.
And being able to say whatever she says, saying loud and clear, and not facing opposition or deterrence from anybody. I think that I have not come here today to substantiate or justify historical facts.
Of course,
because the history of this country has been distorted by a lot of people claiming that Cameroon is not united, but we know so very well that we are a united country, one and indivisible. And when we talk of unity, it means bringing two things together, or one or more things together.
Yes.
And we all know so very well that we had Cameroon Oriental and we had Cameroon Occidental. And you would agree with me that when our forefathers left Enugu, they left out of their free will and decided to come and join here.
Yes.
So I think this is the aspect of unity that we celebrate, because it's you came out of your free will. You came out of your willingness. You were not obliged. You get the point? And then substantiating the fact that from north to south, east to west, Cameroonians are so well united in peace, in unity, and in tranquility. And it is exhibited in all our activities. You see the government, the formation of the government of this country, all the sectors, all the tribes, all the nooks and crannies are involved. And we live in peace. The economy is booming, despite the insurgencies that are going on in the Anglophone regions, that we think that it's under control, and the perpetrators have come to reason to understand that what God has put asunder, what God has put together, no man can put asunder.
Maybe let me just stay with you. You are talking about things being under control. We've heard that very statement for a very long time. And just to remind you that just 1 week from now, we had about 7 Cameroonians. When I say Cameroonians, both the two
security forces and the civilians
fell. I don't know. When you say everything is under control, we are at the eve of the National Day celebration, and then people are dying. Do we still call that being under control?
Yes. Let me substantiate what I mean by under control. You know so very well that this insane war of independence that was brought up by these purported hoodlums, most of them living in the West, they have all come to understand that it was an insane war, and it has the modus operandi that they use could not ever take us to any destination. So as a matter of fact, when I say it is under control, it's because the perpetrators have understood that it was a known affair. And today, because bandits, when you start an insurgency, bandits come into it. And to keep the bandits out of it, it takes time. But I mean the intellectual class that were driving the motor of this crisis have come to understand that it is a known event.
For example.
Anyway, we are looking at the multiplier effects. We are not focusing only on the intervention. Yes, when he was talking, you were so itchy to react. Maybe briefly, please.
Yes. You know, it has been something like a tradition with the communicants from the leading party, you know, those that have, you know, held Cameroon hostage. You know, he said a lot of things that to me it's like an insult to Cameroonians. It's an abomination, because we are out here to educate the people and speak the truth, because they say only the truth can set us free. He said that the situation in the Northwest and Southwest is under control. These are some of the words we've been hearing from most of people from, you know, from his political party. Okay. We cannot be saying something and practicing the opposite. We recently had people who died, as you rightly said, in Bambali. The situation, we are counting 6 years. We are entering the 7th year. Is it a scam? It is not a scam. He spoke about, the country who is united. He said, because I am living in Douala, so I can boast of national unity. We don't have a problem of living together. Sir, I'm sorry to tell you, that is not the definition of national unity. Okay? National unity is eating together. Can we share your bread? We cannot share your bread. Those in Yaoundé have kept all the money. They have embezzled all the funds. And you're talking about national unity as an aspect of living together because I am living in Douala. I am not boasting that aspect of national unity because of my geographical location. I am sorry. We don't eat together. So national unity is not something to boast about. It's just a mere cosmetic thing. I'm sorry, sir. You have to educate Cameroonians and speak the truth because we are decrying. So it is not, I've been in contact with some of the communicants from the leading party. There are some that speak the truth, but most of them have been formatted. Most of them are hand clappers. They refuse to say anything. Right into the National Assembly, they do nothing. They don't fight for people. Is that national unity?
Thank you so much. Maybe before you react, we have a pile of messages, but let me just take this one. Good afternoon to you all in the studio. I would like to convey my heartfelt appreciation to all of you for what you are doing every day for us, the viewers. Concerning the debate, I very much agree with what the woman has just said. You said a lot of things. I don't know which our viewer is agreeing on. Yes.
Yes, I wanted to comment on what my colleague on the other side have just said concerning the same national unity. I do believe that if we are talking about national unity in the case of maybe seeing the situations where people living together or me leaving Bamenda to come and stay in Douala and enjoy Douala, that is not national unity, because if we are talking in that sense, it means that even we're supposed to be talking about international unity, because I'm seeing Cameroonians in Nigeria enjoying well, living well in Nigeria, living
it's
well.
One of the fundamental human rights of a human being.
Anyway, so that should not even be our main concern. That should not even be our problem.
Okay.
Now, if it should be the case, let me, if I'm saying now to the leaders of Cameroon, if I'm telling the leaders of Cameroon that me living in Douala today was not supposed to be, I was not supposed to be in Douala, and there are some situations, that's the area where I'm coming from, was not peaceful, and that was the reason why I have to leave my place in Bamenda and come and stay in Douala. It means that there is a problem in the country.
And maybe,
Mr. Chia, constitutionally, if you look at the Cameroon's constitution, it gives any Cameroonian to live anywhere in the country. So it's not an aspect of national unity. So if we are not respecting our constitution.
Okay, so let's please.
Sorry.
Yes.
You permit me take this very important question from one of our viewers directed to Mr. SIAKA. How can you say that there is national unity? How can you say national unity is a reality without social justice, without peace in the hearts of Cameroonians? That is an innocent question from...
And that's what
I want to just convey it to you, maybe to throw more light on
it. Social justice or social injustice is a reality. It's not an issue of only Cameroon. It's all around the world. You would find Black Americans in the United States of America that is considered as the epitome of democracy. You find Black Americans crying for social justice.
You cannot take a wrong example.
No, permit me.
Yes.
You find Black Americans in the United States of America crying for social justice. If you go to the Middle East, you find people there crying for social justice. It's a global crisis, and Cameroon is not an exception. Cameroon isn't an exception, but it doesn't stop the fact that we are doing our best. The government of this country is doing their best to make sure that we live in unity and tranquility in this nation. You find integration. You find intermarriages between all the two major cultures, the French and the English culture. You see that we are intermarrying amongst ourselves. We are living here in peace and tranquility. We have Francophones who are living in Norway in peace and tranquility. We are getting intermarriages. And I begin to wonder what kind of unity you are talking about, because you are saying that what I'm talking about is not national unity. But you are not telling me what is the unity that you're thinking about. You are contesting my national unity, but you are not presenting your own national unity.
Let me clarify myself.
No, let me clarify myself. Madam AKWEN here,
I'm saying that we don't have a problem with national unity. What you're saying is national unity, which is okay. We don't have a problem of living together. We don't have a problem of living together. I don't have a problem to come and stay in Douala. Francophones, a man from the south or the central region don't have a problem to go and live in Bamenda. So like what the lady said, that our problem is eating together. Now he mentioned of something that our forefathers they left Inugu to come and settle and to come and settle with our brothers here, which is correct. Which is correct. Now, what was their rules? What was their plans put together? Are we respecting what our forefathers came and joined our brothers to make this country be what it is today? Are we respecting it? Are our leaders respecting it? Okay. And the answer is no. I don't know if our forefathers decided that we should come and be slave under the Francophones. I don't know if our forefathers decided that, okay, if an Anglophone is president this year, after 4 or 5 years, or after 7 years, a Francophone is supposed to be a president. Or if an Anglophone, or if a Francophone be the president, an Anglophone is supposed to be maybe the 3rd position or the 4th, the 5th position in the country. So that is one of the reasons why we are talking about eating together, because there are places. Okay, our brother is saying something here that the country is fierce. So I don't know if he have that he can now enjoy going to the village freely the way he was before 2016. I don't know if you can do that. So that is one of the things that falls under the themes of the 20th May.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe let me just throw this question. You painted a very wide picture of Cameroon when it comes to national unity. I want to ask you this. Do you, as a Cameroonian, see any stumbling blocks to our national unity?
Yes, like in any democracy, there is no perfect democracy in the world. You see flaws in the United States of America that are still considered, we still consider as the epitome of democracy. Yes. We still see flaws in their governance system. So Cameroon is not an exception. What I see as a stumbling block to national unity in this country is egocentrism. And I think that some purported politicians have become so egocentric that they think that without them, the country cannot progress. You listen to Madam AKWEN here talking about eating alone. I begin to wonder what she means by eating alone. Because in the National Assembly, when they approve the budget of the government, it's for the entire nation. And we are now in advanced decentralization that has been effective. And except for the fact that in some parts of the country, because of the political quagmire, the implementation of the decentralization is a little bit slow, but I want to tell you that we are no longer in a centralized government. We are in a government where most of the budget of the government is being managed now by the decentralized territorial administrators who are the mayors. They run the investment policy of the government. And I don't see how, apart from the fact that we have egocentric politicians who are struggling to get to power. They are struggling to get the power by trying to destabilize the political party that is already in power. I begin to wonder whether when they get to power, if by any means they get to power, they are going to change the status quo. Because the bottom line, what Cameroonians should know is that they are also struggling to get to power and to be able to eat, as she said. Okay. And it is not about eating, but it's about serving Cameroonians.
Before you take the mic, let me just take this question among the very many that we have. We don't have a language problem because many Francophones are teaching English and many Anglophones are teaching French. That is coming from Buea, Laurent. That is from Garwa. Yes, you wanted to react to what he was saying.
Yes, because you know, when you ask him a question that are we having stumbling blocks to our, you know, national unity?
Maybe after your reaction, you just queue up to that question.
Yes, he spoke of, you know, egocentric politicians. There is a question I want to ask him: who is in charge of Cameroon? I'm a politician. I am not working at a public function. So why should he blame the politicians? Blame your leaders because they are the one in charge of Cameroon. How can you say politicians? We are merely trying to bring out the flaws of your government. You don't have to come on a platform like this and blame politicians for your failure, because we are not in charge. Your Minat has been doing a lot of things, and that's the same language he holds. So it's an abomination. No, because you said that some egocentric politicians are trying to destabilize this country, which is a stumbling block to our national unity. Is that really real? It is.
It's a reality.
It's not a reality. We are not politicians,
we have been
the opposition party.
Please,
I didn't touch you, sir. You're not having the monopoly here. Like I was saying, you know, the politician or the opposition should not be blamed for their weaknesses, for their limitations, for their inability. Okay? Because most of the time, some of the actions they take, sometimes I wonder if they master our constitution. Sometimes I wonder if they're having a whole of the country. We have rules and regulation. We have norms in this country. But you guys, because you have power, you have the yam and the knife, you do anything. And you come around to blame politicians. Politicians have nothing to do. Okay? Blame the Cameroon government. Blame A2D. Blame them.
Okay. Living together equally means fair, free, and... a fair and free democracy. When you look at what is happening this day, because they made mention of politicians, let me just come in with that. When you look at what is happening between political parties today in Cameroon and some authorities, does that send a regrettable image about Cameroon as a united people?
Yes, as far as political, even the opposition's political parties, the opposition political leaders, to me, I'm not having confidence in any of them, because they are also falling in the same lines of the CPDM, which means that, like what he said, there are a lot of political parties today that even if they put them into the same positions of the CPDM, they'll even do worse things. Now, when you look critically into the opposition parties, you understand that each of them, or most of the opposition parties, are there for their personal interest. And I have come to realize that there are so many opposition parties today that even if the ruling party call on them to join and give them position, they will abandon their position. They will abandon their party. That is clear. And the problems of so many Cameroonians today is because it's in the hands of so many opposition parties, because opposition parties are there to fight and bring that lost hopes that Cameroonians were having, and instead of doing that, they are instead fighting for their personal interests. From example, if you take it,
okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
But then,
let's take this one message, please. It's just a remark. The televiewer says, I don't know whether Mr. SIAKA is from the northwest or the southwest, but I can bet with my life that he cannot go to his village peacefully.
Good.
When we are talking about national unity.
Peace.
That's the truth.
Yes. So maybe
I can substantiate that.
Yes. Before you take that, let me stay with you. In Cameroon, many people hold a tendency that some people feel that there are more Cameroonians than others. And that is one of the problems that we have. Do you share that view?
I share that view 100%. 100% because I want to use the political party to which I affiliate, the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, that you still have some unscrupulous militants of the CPDM who are defying the orders and the rule of law that has been stated by the head of state and enshrined in the constitution of this country. That is a fact. The CPDM is not a party of saints. You have people who still want to use positions that they hold to be able to distort and destabilize Cameroonians. It's a reality and it is nature. You get the point? It is nature, and it happens in other democracies. Now, Cameroon is not an exception, as I always want to say. We think that those who are struggling to push the CPDM out are coming to become saints, where they will be fitting square pegs in square holes and everything will be perfect. Cameroonians will stay at home and money will come and meet them. You know, it is a fallacy. It is a fallacy because Madam AKWEN seated here, I don't know from which political party she hails from, but I know she has been doing her best to sensitize Cameroonians on political issues. But what happens that voter apathy that almost became a reality in Cameroon was propagated by the opposition. There were the people going around and saying that the laws are not good, so the youth should not register, and the youth should not vote, and there was voter apathy. We know political parties that have refused to go to elections and ask their militants not to vote. Is it a lie?
Yes.
It is the truth. Permit me. We know
public lie.
Political parties that have boycotted elections.
For sure.
From the SDF to the famous, I call them the penalty kickers.
They will keep kicking.
Yes, they have been calling on Cameroonians not to go and register and not to vote.
It is a lie.
The head of state, His Excellency Paul Buea, in his clairvoyance, has always asked Cameroonians to perform their civic responsibilities and rights.
Oh my goodness.
And today, all of the other political parties, they are heeding now to the call of the head of state, and they are asking their militants to come and register and vote, which is something that has been the dream of the head of state.
Let me stay with you, and I will plead that you should be brief. At the eve, we are planning to celebrate May 20th on Monday. And as we speak, some political parties are disgruntled because they have been refused to participate in the march past, which they think it is their right as Cameroonians to come out on that day and portray their patriotism.
Cameroon is a state of law, and the National Day is not a platform for people who cannot agree in their homes to come and show how they can destabilize themselves in front of the national and international community.
Are you, in other words, calling them troublemakers?
They are troublemakers. The national and international community, they are watching at Cameroon how we are going to display our national unity and integration. But we cannot allow people who cannot fix nitty-gritty in their homes to come and distort and destabilize the image of Cameroon in front of the national and international and national community. So I think that as a state of law, we bring everything to order, and all those political parties are associations that are guided by law under the scrutiny of the Minister of Territorial Administration. And within his clairvoyance, if he thinks that those people's houses, and as we know, are not clear, we cannot allow them to represent Cameroon in the national public.
Thank you so much, Madam AKWEN. Maybe this may be your last word. How do we, at this point, we want to celebrate the National Day? How do we consolidate national unity?
Well, to consolidate our national unity, there are a lot of aspects we need to take into consideration, because a lot of political parties have been exempted. The first thing, because this is the first time since I was born, in the Cameroon's history where people are being, sent away, chased away from not trying to practice their civic responsibility. Because before being a politician, you are a citizen of this country. And as a citizen, you have to partake in this national unity. We are talking about human beings, we're not talking of animals, For me, I think that note that was released by the MINAD should be, removed into circulation. And we should be able to share. When I say share, let the national cake be shared evenly amongst, the 10 regions. Mr. Chia, permit me, I will not go without contradicting some of the things. Very briefly. He spoke about, in his political party, there are people who are not respecting some of the, the instructions of the president. That has been the lullaby in their country, in their party. Because once you want to talk about President Buea, they will tell you Buea is a good person, but his entourage is not good. Who is the king? A human being who has all the time on, doing the wrong casting. Most of the casting he does is wrong, and you will not tell me that he is right and he takes people that are not good.
Thank you.
Because the fish start getting rotten from the head. So A2D is the cause and not his entourage, because you cannot keep praising President Buea.
Thank you, Madam AKWEN.
His casting is wrong.
Thank you, Madam AKWEN. Unfortunately, the two gentlemen, you will not have time to give us your last word because we are already running behind time. We have a pile of messages. We are sorry we could not take all. Thanks so much for watching, and if you missed out on anything, do not forget to watch the rebroadcast of this program on Wednesday at 11 p.m. Until we meet again next Saturday at 12:30, have a happy celebration of the National Day. Bye-bye.
We need to come back here next Saturday.
Analyst.